You know, these days we do guest editors. We do that on holiday. We started on March 6th. We came to May 1 and Founders Day. We are here. Founders Day, we invited the political leaders. And you know in our country these days, particularly in the election season, when the politicians meet, you are sure that there will be some small exchange or some exchanges. So we decided to bring the National Peace Council Chairman, Reverend Professor Emmanuel Asante, as the editor. So that when they are throwing the punches, he will use his peace tactics and skills to deflate the punches that they will be throwing. So Reverend Professor Asante is the editor for today. And Kofi will introduce the other members from the political parties to us.
And I think we'll be in a position to, as it were, defend somehow. And also we appreciate the good work that you are doing. In spite of war, graphic will always be the leading paper because I mean you do the best that we look for. And we want to encourage you to work hard in the stories and stories that you already have. Right? We are to consider which one becomes what.
Yeah, okay. So, Chief Sir.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, our President is addressing the world. So we'd love to hear what he says, saying to the world. So can we consider the President's address at the UN this story?
Let us, if you have any
That's what we do, so if we have issues.
issues with that.
Right, we will go around. I don't have an issue.
But I tell you, forget about me sitting here. Do whatever, you know. Yeah.
I think the content of the interview is okay, but I'm struggling to find how that is connected with today's event. Today is supposed to be the Founders Day. How, I mean, in what context was the interview done so that these things can be understood already in the context?
I don't know, but there are other stories on Founders Day. And we are still selecting stories. And some may find themselves, some of the stories may have.
Also, these were just interviews on the occasion of the Founders Day.
Exactly.
Messages people have.
That's right. And when you have the privilege of having the chairman of the council visiting you, you take advantage and interview him. And then, because what
you
he
get
says
an
is
exclusive story.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
that's
I thought that because the day is a very important day, Founders Day, that would be given a priority. Stories directly related to the celebration of, you know, the Founders Day. And as I said, International Peace Day will be given priority on the front page.
Mr. Chairman, like I said, we have 3 stories on the front page.
Okay.
So far we've done only 2.
Which one do you intend?
Yeah,
to select?
we're still in the process of selecting. So
Assuming we accept this, which one will be your third?
we had an interview with somebody on Founders Day. It was the lady on the First Republic, one of the. I don't know what she said. I haven't seen the story, but I know it's on Founders Day. Normally, you also want to have something of like public interest and human interest stories as well.
Right.
So, yeah, I was going to put that down as a third story on the front page.
Mr. Chairman, I think that, I don't know how this can be done, but is it possible to fuse her story into the Founders Day stories?
The Founders Day story was going to be on the spread actually. There was international peace, there was something on peace summit, Ghana Peace Summit. It was going to be a spread story. Because normally, for the press stories, we also want that we can have beautiful pictures to go with the story.
My question relates to when you asked about the third story, and what I heard was Madame Lucinian's interview is likely to be the third one.
Yeah.
My view is, since we already have a story on the Founders Day, is it not possible to fuse the two so that you don't have the same event carrying two stories on the front page?
No. I think it's an exclusive interview she granted us, and she shared her experiences, in the First Republic and what she sees presently. So she took the opportunity of the Founders Day to discuss with us what she sees now.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Because Founders Day is celebrated almost every year. So you can mention it in your interview. Certainly you mention it. Madame's interview, you mention it. But I think that this is somebody, it's an exclusive interview. Everybody would love to listen to that account. The young ones, the old ones, will call to memory certain events. But the young ones, it's good for them. I think that it must be standing on its own. Yeah.
But when it becomes a center story, I'm looking at the Cocoa Boss syndicated link. It appears to be of some interest. So I'm looking at if I were to weight the two, I would rather have Madame Lucini's story in the center spread, while the Cocoa syndicated link comes on the front page. This is a question.
We're very, very fortunate. We had a scoop of the Cocoa story. We did a story, and the fact that they got the loan and what they paid, we carried that story already. What we are going to get today out of the event probably is another angle to the whole thing. But the fact that we have published that already.
I think that this story, 3 armed robbers arrested at Mansour Quarter, I think it's very important. It must come to the front page. This is very important. To me, it is very important that all the stories, very, very important.
But it has nothing to do with Fulani.
No.
I thought that that story can go somewhere, but in terms of the front page,
I think it's of public interest.
it is of public interest. But coming, for commercial purposes, fine, But I think that we can put it somewhere,
Indeed, we also have to say that apart from the front, the back spread which is selected, there are other pages. So the chairman can say that look for space for this story because it's an important story.
Yes.
So what we select here is just front, spread, and back. The other stories, we can suggest so that.
So let us agree on what is going on the front page. The president's thing we have agreed on. We have also said that the Founders Day, because it's an important day, we need to find a topic or a title headline that will encapsulate and that it will bring in the interviews that under that. And then we need a third element.
A third story.
A third story.
And for now, we have one picture ready, the rest are also expected. So I'll run through the pictures that we are expecting. First, we have the president addressing the summit, so we'll be expecting pictures from New York. Then the Founders Day guest editors, we are still taking some pictures. So by the close of the day, we'll have very beautiful pictures for the page. Then for the interviews, we're still taking some pictures of the various interviews. So we have that one. Then we covered the Madame Lucieni's interview we have her speaking to the political editor. Then
That's the question I wanted to ask. You haven't had the conference, something happens around 4 o'clock on the night. And the following morning becomes a front page story. How does that happen?
So that's what happens. Sometimes when Professor Mills died, we had done conference. It was around 2:15 or so, we had done conference.
and that was not on the card. So we certainly will change. It could happen around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. And now the editor is available, we will call. Or recall a few people and change the whole front page.
There was some confusion in my party. There was a big confusion, violence in the NPP. Fortunately, 2 days later, there was similar violence in the NDC. And there was just some small lines on small lines.
Maybe that was small confusion.
Small line. There was a small line on the front page. So everybody was saying, but these people, how can the same developments in two parties have such and it creates a certain impression, even though I am sure that it wasn't deliberate. That is the impression that it created. So you need also to look at your precedents in reporting and apply it.
Chairman, you see, to react to that, sometimes you look at what stories you have in your basket on a particular day. You see, something happens in the NPP. It could have been the NDC, and we may have carried it big. The next time something happens in the NPP, maybe some other thing has happened, which, in the opinion of conference members, is bigger than what has happened in the NDC. So that's how it happens. And I appreciate the fact that you are saying you appreciate that it may not be deliberate.
So the point we are making is that, we're living in a country, we are in a multi-party democracy, and people are reading all sorts of meanings into things. Therefore, we should be conscious of that and try as much as possible to be seen, to be doing justice, even handed in terms of reportage.
And it will amaze you that as a state organization, we pay dividend to government. That is the reason. And we run an open administration, ensure that everybody is on board. We cannot please all the 25 million Ghanaians in this country at any given time, but we'll do our best.
Well, I think that on your behalf, I can go and say that we are deeply grateful to you for this opportunity that you have given us. Once we get the papers and we are reading, now we know the kinds of things that you do here. We also do recognize that definitely, you're not angels writing here. There's bound to be limitations. And we need to have a big heart for that. And the most important thing is that when you realize that you've made a mistake, you correct it. And I believe that this interaction has added something to the things you already do and you already know. We want to say a big thank you to you and to Tonsga representatives who are here.